welcome to Transfer Time with me, AJ Johnston. This is pretty much a podcast where I'll be talking about the latest transfer deals on teams in Spain, England, America, France, Germany, so on and so forth. There are 35 teams in total, so I'll be doing 7 today, 7 the next day, and then 7 after that, and so on and so forth. Today's 7 teams are Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham, and PSG. So let's get started with Arsenal. Arsenal have signed the Belgian midfielder Albert Sambi Lokonga on a permanent deal worth around £17.5 million, as well as £4.5 million in terms of add-ons. He will be staying at the club until June 2026. Lokonga originally came from Anderlecht and he's been at the club since 2010, making 69 appearances and 3 goals. He will be wearing the number 23 shirt for the Gunners, and this makes him the second transfer following Nuno Tavares from Benfica. Tavares made 25 appearances but only 1 goal for that team. He will be wearing the number 20 shirt. And now moving on to outgoings, as we already know, Matteo Guendouzi has left the club on a loan deal to Marseille for a year, but the French League One side also have the option to buy the player at the end of the season. Another outgoing that could happen is Granit Xhaka, who could be moving to Roma, as we know Jose Mourinho wants him in the team, and the player is pushing to join the team prior to the new season coming up. Roma is preparing a new bid to sign the midfielder and are feeling confident as personal terms have already been agreed, and Arsenal are open to sell the player following the transfer of Nuno Tavares. Will Arsenal have 2 incomings? Could they make it 3 with Ben White? As far as we're aware, the deal has not been completed yet. Arsenal have agreed a £50 million deal, however, to sign the England defender from Brighton. This will make him the 3rd most expensive Arsenal transfer behind Lacazette and Aubameyang. Other players that Arsenal are interested in include Manuel Locatelli from Sassuolo, Hassem Aouar from Lyon, Ruben Neves from Wolves, as far as we're aware, negotiations have started, Tammy Abraham, James Maddison, Thilo Keller, PSG, and Odegaard from Real Madrid, who was on loan last season at the club. This would be really good for Real Madrid as they need to slash their salary cap. 2 other players that could leave the club are Hector Bellerin and Joe Willock. So far, the players that have left the club are Saliba, who's gone to Marseille on loan, Matt Ryan has gone back to Brighton, Dani Ceballos is back to Real Madrid, and as we all know, David Luiz's his contract has expired. Moving on to Chelsea now, and there's not that much to say. As we already know, Gui has already joined Crystal Palace on a 5-year deal. Olivier Giroud has moved to AC Milan on a permanent transfer, which for an undisclosed fee. And Dortmund have turned down a Chelsea player/cash Haaland proposal. Chelsea striker Ike Vigbo has agreed personal terms with Genk. The player wants to join the Belgian side as soon as possible. The deal should be completed in the next few days. Speaking of Olivier Giroud, he was speaking to the Italian press, and this is what he had to say about his move to the Italian side. He said that I feel like a little kid, still at almost 35 years old. When I was younger, I looked up to Jean-Pierre Papin, Shevchenko, and obviously Paolo. This team made me dream. I was also a big fan of Marco van Basten. Milan has a massive club history, and that's why I wanted to join. Moving on to Manchester City, and just like Chelsea, not much to say except that their goalkeeper Scott Carson has signed a 1-year deal, keeping him at the club until the summer of 2022. From Manchester City to their rivals Manchester United, as we already know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the manager, has said that Jesse Lingard is a part of his Man United plans this season. In full, he said that he was one of Man United. The positives, he is a Man United player and he wants to fight for his place. He's come back bright, confident, and lots of energy. I think everyone saw what he did at the end of last season with West Ham. He's still in my plans. I expect him at Man United at the start of the season. Continuing on with Manchester United, and Roma are still in talks with Alex Telles, the Brazilian defender. However, Manchester United will accept no loan moves for the left back. As you already know, the Sancho deal has already been agreed, and as you saw, all the pictures on social media yesterday. Moving on to Rafael Varane, and apparently it is close to agreeing in personal terms with the Real defender. His agent says that he has a desire to try a new experience in the Premier League, but will be respectful as he's waiting for club agreement. He wants to move to Manchester United, but but has confirmed he accept any contract bid. Manchester United are also interested in signing Camavinga. And finally, from Manchester United news, in terms of Manchester United women, the trailblazer Lauren James has joined her brother Reece James as Chelsea has agreed permanent deal with Manchester United women for the England striker. Moving on to Manchester United's rivals Liverpool, as we already know, Gini Wijnaldum has joined PSG until 2024 and Marco Grujic has joined Porto on a permanent deal until June 2026. Marco Grujic was Jurgen's first signing as Liverpool manager. Liverpool apparently also interested in Yuri Tillmans, Nicolo Barella, Saul, Renato Sanchez and Miguel Dansgaard. Continuing on with the ingoings, Liverpool have signed Abraham Konate from RB Leipzig for £36 million. Moving on to outgoings, Ben Davies has joined Celtic, Taiwo Awoniyi has joined Union Berlin for around £6.5 million. And in terms of their captain, Jordan Henderson, the contract talks have stalled. Seep van den Berg has joined Preston on loan. Moving on to the last team in the top 6 of the Premier League, Spurs, we already know. Heung-min Son has signed a contract extension. And according to new manager Nuno Espirito Santo, he says that Gareth Bale will not rejoin the club this season, and he's not worried or doesn't have any doubts about Harry Kane staying with the team. And as we already know, they are close to loaning Atlanta goalkeeper Golini. Another player that Spurs are interested in is Tomiyasu. The Bologna director says that they are not in a rush to sell the player. Tottenham have made a bid, but many clubs are interested. The player is tempted by the Premier League and he's waiting for a good deal. Other players that Tottenham are interested in include Danny Ings and, of course, as we mentioned earlier, Renato Sanchez. In terms of outgoings, Paulo Gazzaniga, his contract has expired. Danny Rose has joined Watford on a free, and Juan Foyth has joined Villarreal on an undisclosed fee. And it looks like a swap deal could be agreed with Sevilla and Spurs. It looks like Eric Lamela will join the Spanish side, and Brian Gill will join the Premier League side on a permanent deal. Sevilla will receive £25 million from Spurs, as well as add-ons included in the negotiations. It has also been said that Sevilla are set to sign paperwork for this deal with Tottenham, including Brian Gill and Eric Lamela. And finally, PSG, as we already know, Gini Wijnaldum has joined the club, as well as Achraf Hakimi. He's joined from Inter Milan for around £54 million. Sergio Ramos, the Real Madrid captain, has left the Spanish side and joined the League One team on a free. Same goes for Gianluigi Donnarumma from AC Milan. Departures are as follows: Moise Kean has gone back to Everton, and Alessandro Florenzi is back at Roma. So that is all 7 teams talked about. I'll be back on Wednesday to talk about QPR, West Ham, Celtic, Rangers, Everton, Leicester and Watford. For a full roundup on the transfer news regarding the 7 teams today, just have a look at the bio.